Hmm.
Jai Baba Uncle, we can start.
Yes, yes.
Welcome everyone to our Thursday meeting. Let us all join in to the Baba's prayer. Beloved Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's daman till the very end. Beloved Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Thank you, Baba.
Jai Baba, everyone. Welcome to one more edition of Thursday evening programs. Sam Patel is not around today, so I'm filling Sam Patel's shoes today. We request beloved Baba to take over the proceedings of this evening and speak on my behalf. You are the best speaker, so I leave it to you to speak. I will just move my tongue and you will speak for me. Thank you. And welcome everybody again. Uh, I'm one, I'm one Meher Baba lover from Bombay who has been with the Bombay Center and beyond for the past 6 decades or more than 6 decades. In fact, more than 6 decades. And you'll wonder, what is this and beyond? How can there be anything beyond the Bombay Center, Avatar Meher Baba Bombay Center? And the answer is that before Bombay Center came into being, there used to be Sunday evening programs at Kalbadevi. Opposite Anjuman Atas Beram is a lane at Nobitalao, which is called Kalbadevi. And there is a post office, Kalbadevi Post Office, on the right side. Next to Kalbadevi Post Office, there's a building where Sorabji Siganpuria stayed on the second floor. And I've read that Mir Baba visited Sorabji's house at Kalbadevi. And on the first floor, that is one floor below, Sorabji had a storeroom. It was just one small room, which he was using as a storeroom. And on Sunday evenings, whatever he had, the bundles and the cartons and whatever, they were pushed aside on one side. And we sat there, my mother and I would, and maybe my sisters as well, we would go to Kalpa Devi and there would be Sunday evening satsang. At that time, Avatar Mehr Baba Bombay Center phrase was not even coined. I repeat, Avatar Mehr Baba Bombay Center phrase or nomenclature, or whatever you call, was not even coined. So the story goes that the seniors in those days, like Sorabjit Singh Purya, Kisanchan Gajwani, Jal Dolly Dastur, Kishore Mistry, and I'm sure a few more, they went to Merazad, they went to Baba and they told Baba that, Baba, it is high time that we have a center at Mumbai. We would like to establish a center at Mumbai. So Baba, in his amusing way, if he was wearing a coat, what Baba would do is put both his hands inside his pockets, pull the white pockets out, and show his white empty pockets and say, look, you may have come here, but my pockets are empty. Don't expect anything from me. Don't say, Baba, help us, give us money. give us chanda. My pockets are empty. I hope you have not come and sit on my chest. So those who were there said, Baba, we have not come here asking for money from you. We just want your green signal. We just want okay from you. You want your blessings, then we'll do the needful. So naturally, next question was, do you have the money? Do you have the money? You're talking big. You're talking about starting Bombay Center, but do you have money to talk about it? So they said, Baba, we will look after it. We will manage. We will try and pass the hat around and just give us your blessings. Let us see what best we can do. So Baba said, okay, go ahead. You have my blessings. So they come back to Bombay, into this Bombay. They come to Bombay and they called a fundraising meeting on a Sunday morning where my mother Khurshid Khan was also invited. And initially they gave us a brief. Brief means a background. They gave a background as to why you all are called, what is the reason for our coming. We went to Baba at Berazar, we had a chat with him, etc., etc. And they said that we have called you today to make a request to you that to start a center, we need some money. And we are requesting you to please contribute the best you can do, the best you can do. So if we collect money, then we will go back and tell Baba that, Baba, we have collected the money and we would like to go ahead. So my mother, my mother raised the hand first. She raised the hand first and said, 500 rupees. She pledged 500 rupees. Now, what you need to understand is that now this is 1960. When 1960, 500 rupees was 500 rupees. Today, if it falls down, it's a different story. But in 1960, 500 rupees was reasonably good sum. Now, my mother was a widow and she had three children in school. The three of us were still schooling. And yet my mother said 500 rupees. If a widow, if a if a widow with three children says 500 rupees, nobody seated there had the heart to say 500 rupees. Nobody. So effectively, raised the bar. My mom raised the bar to such an extent that nobody would dare say 500 rupees. They all had to, they all had to say a higher figure, a much higher figure. So I'm sure must have started with 1,000 rupees, etc. So in no time, the kitty was full. All the organizers were very happy. They were very happy with what was committed. Now, Saurabhji Siganpuria was a relatively, well, I won't use wealthy, but he was relatively well-off man. And Kisachin Gajwani was the proprietor of Kisco Cutlery. In those days, Kisco Cutlery was very famous, very famous. It was like high-end cutlery business. So he was a rich, wealthy man. So Swarajji and Kishan Chand Gajwani had made it up that whatever shortfall we have, we will we will shell out 50% each. So, for example, if the shortfall was 10,000 rupees, Sorabji and Kishan Chand would put in 5,000 each, but they would see that the project goes through. So they had the money, they had the reasonably good money. So they must have sent a word to Baba that we have collected the money and we are going with the purchase. So the center that we have today, that's the property that those guys purchased. And I'm told that each one of them, Sorabji and Gajwani, they put 10,000 each as well, because you don't have to pay only for the property. There's legal fee, there is stamp duty, and there is professional fees to be paid, printing, stationery, furniture, fixtures. A lot of money is required beyond that. So in all, the funds were raised, and the things started moving. They purchased this property, started renovating it, lights, fans, furniture, fixtures, things got rolling. Then they went to Baba and said, Baba, we are set, we are ready to go, and and that's it. We would like you to come and inaugurate the center. Baba said, I will not come personally, but I will certainly send a message, my message to the Bombay Center, and I will send my emissaries. They will inaugurate the center. Sorry. So, so Baba Center was inaugurated in 1962, and Baba sent his secretary, which is Ali Senior, and Maharani of Baroda to go over with his message to convey to the Bombay Center, and that is how Outer Mayor Baba Bombay Center came into being in 1962. The ribbon was cut. Adi and Maharani came inside, and and naturally the felicitations, the talk by Adi Irani, and he read out Baba's message, etc., etc. So that is how Baba Center was inaugurated. Now let me take a side step. The floor that you see, those floor had no walls, barring the center. The whole floor had no walls. It was like a one big hall, and center was the only property that had developed. So that is how the center started from there. And when they went to Baba, Baba said, Sorabji, you will be the president. To Kishan Gajwani, Baba said, you will take the post of vice president. To Kishore Mistry, Baba said, you will be the secretary of the center, and so on and so forth. He also gave the names of the trustees, who will be the trustees of the center, etc., etc. To the minute points that Baba said, this many people will pay a subscription of 50 paise a month. I mean it, 50 paise a month. Some of these will pay 1 rupee a month, and some of these will pay 2 rupees a month. So this is how it is. And I remember after a few number of years, there was one Iranian gentleman called Shiruz Irani. Shiruz Shiruz had a wafer factory, a soft wafer factory. He was selling wafers. He was paying 20 rupees a month. He was paying 20 rupees a month. In those days and age, when people were contributing 1 or 2 rupees or max 5 rupees, he was every month contributing 20 rupees a month. And I said, wow, this guy is giving 20 rupees, must be very large hearted man. So that's that. Okay. Now, as I said, Sorabji Sigurparia became the president, Gajwani became the vice president, but they could speak, but they were not good orators. They were not good speakers. So the center found the very first man to be uh, Barjor Mehta. Barjor Mehta was one of those Mehtas from Ahmednagar, uh, Akbar Press, but Barjor Mehta had moved to Mumbai. He was living at Mumbai, and he was a good speaker. He was a good orator. So Barjor Mehta would narrate Baba stories and discourses, etc., etc. The way Menos does today, Barjor Mehta was the first one to do the inaugural speaking ceremony, you may say. Now, after some years, Barjor and his family moved back to Ahmednagar. So now there is a void. But let me sidestep. Baba had told Barjor Mehta that after I pass on, 6 months afterwards, you will also follow me. Baba told Barjur Mehta that after 6 months that I'm gone, you will be gone. And it might surprise us to know that almost to get me water, almost to the date, almost to the date, Barjur Mehta had a sudden heart attack and he went to Baba. So after Barjur Mehta came Sam Patel's father, Eretsa. Eretsa. Eretsa was a very emotional man, much more than Sam as he is today. Eretsa Patel was a very emotional man. And I remember seeing him weeping at the mic. He would become so emotional. He would become so emotional that as he's talking, he would start weeping. So that was Eretsa. Now, Eretsa suddenly passed on overnight. He was gone. So after Eretsa, uh, I'm not too sure after Eretsa it was Prashant Ahir or it was Kishore Mistry. I think it was Prashant Mistry. Sorry, not Mistry. Prashant Ahir, a young man. He was an MBA and an engineer, extremely brilliant, very good command over the language. And though he was a young man, he was very good at his subject of Mer Baba, discourses, spirituality, and he spoke brilliantly. He spoke brilliantly. Kishore Mistry was also one of the speakers. Now, who preceded whom I can't recollect, but Kishore Mistry, who was an excellent singer and an excellent speaker as well. Kishore Mistry went out like a light, just like the other speakers, barring Prashant, and Menos took over. And since then, Menos has been speaking all these years. Coming to the Bhajan Mandli, in those days, Bhajan Mandli was very strong. When I say very strong, very strong. Kishore and Pratap Mistry, Pratap's wife Rajni, and the others. I remember the others, but I can't recollect their faces immediately. We had we had regular double J's, we had regular harmonica players, very good singers, very strong bhajan ghazal mandli, and they entertained us tremendously. I must say, I salute all of them. They did a great job for the center. Yeah, we come to the Baba's birthday programs. Uh, before Baba's birthday programs, Jal, Dolly, Philly, Dolly's brother Philly, and myself, the four of us would go to the center maybe a fortnight earlier, maybe a week earlier, and every night we would go there with buckets and buckets and powders and cleaners and brushes and brooms and whatever else you have. And if we found some helpers from the footpath, we would hire them. But if they were not found, then we would do it. And it was a thorough cleanup job. When I say thorough, it was a thorough cleanup job. Uh, Not only in earlier days we had windows, we had balconies and we had windows. So we would wash, not only clean the windows, we would wash the windows, the attic. We would wash the attics, things on the attics would be brought down. We would change the brown papers and put on new brown papers and put the bundles back. We also had a carpet in those days, but that carpet was in three pieces. So we would roll the carpet all up to the rear window. I mean, roll the carpet and clean the flooring. That was once in a year. The job was done. So to that extent, we cleaned, and thereafter, naturally, the decorations took place. So that's how the birthday programs in the morning would go on. One second. Yeah. Let me talk about my early days before I proceed further. In the early days, there was an old gentleman called Zalbay Goyewala. So it was this Zalbay who would come in the evening, every day in the evening, and he would write about center's accounts, receipt books, registers, cash book, bank book, etc., etc. In those days, maybe I was in college or maybe I was doing my articles. I'm not very sure. So in the evenings, I would regularly go in the evenings, and the table, which is the wooden table that you see at the center, that wooden table was right at the back of the center. And Zalbay would tell me, prepare the receipts, write the register, write the cash books, write the memos, cash memos, etc., etc. So these were my first learning days under Zalbay's tutelage. He taught me the ropes. He taught me. Then he was an elderly man and he stopped coming to the center. He was staying at Ketwadi. So I took on the mantle and I started writing the books, etc., etc. So that was my baptism of writing accounts initially in those early days. I was in my 20s in those days. Yeah, talking about the birthdays, the birthday programs would be at the center, but in the evening, this started at Sundarbe Hall. This started in the evenings at Sundarbe Hall. Then we moved to Faramji Kavalji Hall, also at Domitala. Then from Faramji Kavalji Hall, we moved to Parker, we moved to Tejpal. So so these are the halls where the programs would be held. And talking about the setup of the center, the management of the center, there were trustees and there were volunteers. I remember in the later days, I'm not talking about Sorabji's time, in the later days, after Sorabji moved on and Kishanjan Kajwani moved on, uh, Darabsa, Darabsa became the president. Darabsa Katrak became the president. And Jal Dastur became the vice president. Dolly Dastur became the secretary, and the joint secretary was Naju Kotwal. Then Sridhar Kelkar also became one of the trustees and one of the secretaries. So time moved on, things moved on. Uh, first secretary was Kishore Mistry, I beg your pardon. First was Kishore Mistry, then maybe Dolly was the joint secretary. Then after Kishore's moving on, Dolly took on the secretaryship, Naju Kotal helped, etc. So people change, and many more became trustees. And uh, now Keki Fajotia, who was staying at Wadia Street, Tardeo, he, he was reasonably elderly man, but from Wadia Street, Tardeo, he would cross the Tardeo Bridge and come to the center every day in the evening. He would walk the distance. Maybe he was in his 70s, early 70s, whatever it is, but he would come to the center every evening and he looked after the housekeeping of the center. He would maybe open the center, close the center, and then go home. So Keki Kajotia is still around and we respect him and we recollect his services. Then Philly also was doing the center's accounts with me. He was also the honorary treasurer. And he has given a lot to this center. When I say a lot to this center, I mean Philly, engineer, Dolly's brother, has given enormous sacrifice for the center. And he's not around, but we cannot forget his services to the center. After Kishan Gajwani, Colonel Minu Desai, he was Mansari's either brother or cousin, even our Arab sir's cousin. So Colonel Minu Desai, he became the vice president. And he was pretty strict, maybe because he was a colonel, but he was pretty strict in the sense the center has to start at 5:30, means it has to start at 5:30. And if it has to end at 7, it has to end at 7. He didn't like he didn't like the center to go on and on after 7. Now, if there are good singers, if there are good kawals, if there are good invitees, naturally the trustees would like to carry on and go on a bit further beyond 7. But he didn't like it. But now that's that. Yeah, let's talk about the cutout and darbar pose. We see the darbar pose, which is right at the center of the right there at the center. This darbar pose came from Behrazad or Guru Prasad, one of the two. Baba said you can have one of these. Similarly, for the cutouts, Baba said there were, I think, two, three, four cutouts, and Baba said select any one of them for the center. So the Darbar pose and the cutouts have come from maybe Guru Prasad. So that. That's how it is. We had the center had library and they're giving books on loan at this library. You can take them home as it is today, and also the sale of books. But that has been there for the last very many years. Very many years. It started rather young in those early days. What I remember is that on Baba's birthdays, we didn't have big plays, like there were skits also, but the Parsi youngsters sang English songs, and yours truly was one of them. I never had good voice in my life, but I would go on the stage and the youngsters, we were in our 20s and teenage. The eldest was Havavi Dada Chanji. So we used to sing English songs as well. And there would be skits and items and yeah. I'm sorry. In the early days, the trustees would invite outsiders to be the guest speakers and the chief guests. So the mayors and the sheriffs and maybe even some junior ministers, they would be invited and they would be called to be the chief guest and the guest speakers. But then gradually the trustees realized that they were not speaking on Meher Baba because they never knew much about Meher Baba. Maybe they hardly spoke about Meher Baba, but they would rattle things other than Meher Baba. And our focus at the birthday was to speak on Meher Baba. So the trustees decided that we better speak from our own so that they could speak on Baba, beloved Baba, and significance of birthday and his his messages, discourses, etc. So then the Baba lovers took over. Yes, at the Cross Medan, I think at Cross Medan, or I'm not too sure. There was a World Trade Fair. It was a huge thing, and the trustees felt that this was a good chance to let people know of beloved Baba, that he was around, that Mir Baba is around. So they went to Mirazad and they told Baba that we would like to put up a stall at the World Trade Center and we would like to do some work. So Baba said, don't come to me for money. I don't have money. If you can do it, good, you can do it. So then the trustees got a green signal and they went on with hiring the stall. They had to put up the bookcases, etc., etc. And Baba's universal message was printed in thousands. Jim Mistry, Rhoda Mistry's husband, had a had a printing press. So the messages were printed at his press, and that's how the messages and photographs were printed. Baba lovers gave their contribution towards the cost of this stall, and it was a pretty good success. Thousands picked up the free leaflets, etc. Books were sold there. So a lot of people came to, at least they came to know about Beloved Baba, that there is someone like Mir Baba around. Yeah. Now, at the center, present day we use the toilet at the back, right? Now, in those early days, Dolly Dastur, she was quite a tough woman. She said, nothing doing this toilet will not be used. This is Baba's center. We don't want the toilet to be used. Everybody go right at the front and use the toilet there. So for many years, we used that toilet, which is right at the front. Nobody has even seen it. So those who were staying there, up there, they complained to the society that this is ridiculous. Everybody is coming to our toilet. Why can't they use their own toilet, which they have? So the society sent us a letter. I won't use the word notice, but a center saying that you have your own toilet. Please use your toilet. Don't make a nuisance for the others. So the trustees had to open up their toilet, and we started using that toilet. So that's the toilet business. Yeah. In those days, on some days, Baba's films were shown. Now, when I talk about Baba's films, they would be in 8 mm, 16 mm. They would be rolls, and we didn't have a projector, we didn't have a screen, and the machineries go with that, the speakers, etc. So, so there was a man, a religious man, spiritual man called Rusi Gandhi. Rusi Gandhi was a lawyer, and he used to stay at Forest Road. So myself and the other few youngsters, we would go to his house. We would pick up all this paraphernalia and bring everything to the center. Rusi Gandhi himself would come, and he would use the projector, and that is how we could see Baba films at the center. Sorry. And then at night we would take the projector, screen, machinery, speakers, and put them back at his house. So this was something that you need to know. Yeah. Now, most of you must have wondered that from where did the center get this big money to invest in the adjoining property? The center must have been very rich. Sorry. And the credit goes to Jal and Dolly, and credit goes to Darabsa, and maybe Philly also. Uh, Darabsa in his will left big money for the center. Jal and Dolly gave big money to the center. Now Jal and Dolly had a proviso. And that proviso was that we are giving you this money to invest in a property, to expand the center for the future. And years went by, literally years went by, and Jal and Dolly would keep sending us the fillers that, what are you doing with our money? They didn't use the word our money, but they said, what are you doing? You're not buying any property, you're not doing anything. The intention was to extend the property. Now, everybody's eyes were on the adjoining property. There was one Dr. Desai's clinic, eye clinic. He was running an eye clinic, and our eyes were only on this property, including mine. We were told that there's a next door property. We were told that there's a property diagonally opposite the center. We saw those properties. We saw one property we are on third floor, so we saw a property on the fourth floor. exactly about the center. We saw a property on the seventh floor, but our heart was in this adjoining property. And the idea was that we break the wall and we extend the center. That was the that was the idea, that we extend the center by breaking the wall. That was the sum and substance. Give me a minute, please. Sorry. So we saw a number of properties, and heart and mind was in the adjoining property. Now there was one gentleman, Cyrus was dealing him for years. He was the son-in-law of Dr. Desai. So this man would talk for hours, but not come to the point of how much he would like to sell the property for. Years went on. Cyrus would keep badgering and saying that, come on, tell us, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you want? Finally, we came to know that to begin with, this man had no locus standi, means the authority, to even discuss, which was very frustrating, very disappointing, because he was the son in law and the property belonged to his wife because Dr. Desai had died. And this went on. Dr. Desai's daughter also expired. So the flat fell into her son's hands. So finally, we negotiated with the son that we are interested in the property, but you can look for others if you want. We have no objections. But this guy, the grandson, knew our pulse. I repeat, this grandson knew our pulse, and he's a young man. But he knew that the center's eyes, and they have been having their eyes on my property for years. He knew that they have an adjoining property, so they will pay any price to get my property. And I'll be honest enough to say that we have paid a good premium, that your center has paid a good premium to get this price. Because he knew it, we knew it, that we wanted adjoining property only. Uh, the plus point for this property was that it was falling on the main road, main Lamington Road, and it had good air and light, etc., etc. Unlike unlike the flats on the inside, he knew that, and he knew that we will eventually. So he sat tight. We sat tight for a very long time, and this went on. Finally, we had to bow down, and we had to pay. I would say reasonable. I was not in favor. I said, hang on, have patience. But finally, the trustee decided to pay that money, big money, and we bought that flat. We bought that flat. We had to pay stamp duty. We had to pay legal charges, transfer fees, etc., etc., etc. And that is what it is. We have got this property. Now, now the negative aspect of acquiring this property was that our intention was that we will break the wall and we will extend the center. That was the intent. Then I read an article in maybe Times of India. It was a three column article telling in detail that we would be in big trouble if we broke the wall. We would be in big trouble if we broke the wall. There are directives, government directives, that you cannot break the wall of two adjoining properties and make it into one. And it was a legal article. It was threadbare that Anyone who does that would be in big trouble. That's point number one. Point number two, the center society, we told the center society, we wanted someone to come and see what we are wanting to do, what our plans are. And Sam Patel and myself were there. Finally, we got the president of the society to come in Dr. Desai's property and have a look, and we would tell him what we intend doing. The moment the moment Sam used the term that we were planning to break this wall, the moment he said that, the president pounced on him and said, Mr. Patel, you will not even think about it. Forget about it. You will not even think about it. You will not be allowed to break this wall to begin with by me and by the society. Will send you a notice if you start the work. We will ask you to put the wall again. I'm warning you. We will ask you, if need be, we'll send you a notice to put this wall again up because this is illegal. The society does not allow and the municipality does not allow. So don't even think about it. I knew about it, so I kept mum because I was not in favor of breaking that wall because it was illegal. Then I said that, Mr. President, you see this narrow niche adjoining the balcony. We would like to break that and make a door so that we can enter from one property to the other and so on. So he said, okay, you can make a small door and I'll look the other way around. The society will kind of kind of not look at it, and you can break this much and make a small door. We will condone it kind of. So Cyrus insisted that we take in writing from him. I told Cyrus, Sam told Cyrus, Menos told Cyrus, Cyrus, there is no way. Even maybe this is partly illegal. The president has said that we will look the other way around. That is good enough for us. They will not object to us. But if you insist on asking for in writing, they'll say we refuse to allow you. Yeah, I mean, no society president and no society management is going to give you in writing that you break the wall. So finally, wiser counsel prevailed, and we made a door. Nobody made a noise, and this law is functional. We can go keep an eye also on the property, and we can go in, come out very easily. Yeah, let's talk about these evenings, Thursday evenings. Once Sam Patel, maybe saw somebody else is doing programs on Thursdays, so he told Naju Kotwal that she was the secretary of the center. That Naju, we should also start such programs on Thursday evenings, and we should take the permission of the trustees. So Naju said, I'm the secretary. Go ahead. I'm the secretary. I'm giving you permission to start. So this is how the Thursday programs started. And they have been going on every Thursday without a single break. Around that time, maybe around the same time, on Saturdays, the music lessons started at the center. I forget his gentleman's name. He was he was a singer par excellence. He would play harmonium, etc. In fact, he's a music teacher. His profession is to teach music. So every Saturday he would come, and there would be a few who would learn music from him. So that was another activity that the center had started. Now, uh, yeah, thank you, Menas. Pramod Dapre. Pramod Dapre had wonderful voice. When I say wonderful voice, wonderful voice. He was he was one of the bhajan mandi during Kishore and Pratap's time. very good singer, very good harmonica player, etc., etc. So he was the teacher who taught many to how to play, how to sing, etc., etc. Uh, the center started publications. I must give credit to Cyrus Kambata. We would put it at the trustees meeting that we need to have publication of Baba's visits to Bombay, etc., etc. So those publications were printed by the Bombay Center. We would send them around all across India for sale. Sorry. So publications is one of the activities of the center. Now, in between, one unfortunate thing happened at the center, and I still can't forget that there was there was a group who wanted to have their spiritual group, Upasni's followers. What the lady who was Upasni's chief woman monthly,
God,
ending with my
Godavri Mai.
forget. Can someone help me?
Godavri Mai.
Get down. Say loudly.
Godavri.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Good everybody. So they wanted our center to use on a Monday evening or Thursday evening, and those followers of Godavari Mai, well, I don't know why, but the trustees agreed and saying that yes, you can use the center, you can have your programs. Now, the the unfortunate thing that happened, which hurt me the most, was that their program was going on, which was fair enough. It was given officially given to them, but when it was 7 o'clock, when it was our RT time, someone would pick up Baba's frame. We would take it on the balcony. In those days, there was a balcony. We would put it on the cupboard, and we would perform the RT at 7 o'clock, and we would do it hush hush. We would do it hush hush very softly, so that their program is not disturbed. Can you believe this? I'm sorry to say. Can you believe this nonsense? Our center, our RT, Baba's RT, we are performing on the balcony, and softly, softly, softly. They'll get this. And their program goes on. The worst part is, our RT is going on at 7 o'clock. Their program is on. They are using the mic. Their program is on. They are doing all jalsa, and we are doing our RT hustlers. And they were paying 200 rupees per evening, hall, light, fan, everything going on, and the humiliation that we suffered. Have you heard of the Arab and the camel? Arab and the camel? We were the Arabs. We were thrown out, and the camel got into the center. It was very hurtful. I took so many objections at the trustees meeting. હવે એ લોકોને કરવા દેવની, હવે એ લોકોને કરવા દેવની. It is only once a week, એ લોકોને કરવા દેવની. Well, I could only pray to Baba to end this nonsense. And mercifully, one day I was told that they are not going to be using our center anymore. There's a saying in Hindi, देर है मगर अंधेर नहीं है. So, देर तो था, मगर अंधेर नहीं था. They never increased 10 rupees. They used the center whole evening. They never gave 250, 300, 350. No. Every time they just gave us 200 rupees, and that was done. Very hurtful for me. I'll keep remembering till my last day that Santa faced such humiliation. Yeah, let's talk about the pilgrimage. In 2009, 15th August was the date. So one day earlier, one day later, whatever it is, I started the tours on my own under let's be honest, under my banner, that Jimmy Khan is organizing tour. Jimmy Khan is taking tours. Mm. And the very first tour, I know I'm digressing. This has nothing to do with the center yet. But the very first tour, I took 50 people into two buses, not air conditioned, but in two relatively small buses, maybe 25 seaters or whatever it is. But that was great. 50 people joining on the very first trip to Mehrabad on August 2009. The largest number of people that we have carried, the largest, three buses and the round figure of 100. Three buses leaving from MPR, coming to Mumbai, three buses, 100 people. That was a crescendo. On an average, I would take anywhere between 50 to 70 to 80 people, and it was great going. Then my wife made a sending with me that, are you the only Gadera who is doing all the work? You go to the extent of even writing emails to MPR about people coming. Is there no one else doing? Are you the only one doing it? What's wrong with you? Why are you taking? Why are you taking so much strain on, on your health? So, I'm a very cunning man. So, so what I did was I told the center's trustees one day that this is a beautiful baby. This is a beautiful project which is doing so well. I want to give it to the center to run it. I will do everything. I will do everything, but I want to do it on the center's name. So it doesn't come under my name. And it was rather not could have been, it was the best project that the center could have. Chalti Trained Charvanu. Yeah, it was something like that. It was an ongoing project which was so successful. I'm sorry to be a little loudmouth, but when the buses went to Mehrabad, from the chairman to the bellboys at MPR would know that Jimmy Khan's buses were coming. It was so popular. It was so popular. And everybody looked forward to Jimmy Khan's buses coming. So now the ball was in the center's court and it went under it went under the banner of Outer Mir Baba Bombay Center is taking a trip. And it has gone on. It has gone on very well. I've played my part, but let me be very honest. Now, I was not the only one who was doing it. Bami Bamanji was looking after cash from A to Z. Not only he would collect, the other volunteers would also collect, but give the money to Bami Bamanji. And he would go to the cashiers. First, he would go to the lodging cashier. Then he would go to the board cashier, and he would settle the accounts for the center. He would not come to Merazar. He would not come to Samadhi, but poor guy, he would be sitting and paying money, and he would be paying money at the counter. Once I remembered, we reached MPR, and after lunch, I said, "Let me get it off my chest. Let me pay." That's when I was taking it. Huh? Let me pay the money up. Sorry. And my daughter Parizat was with me. So she said, "Dad, I'll come and help you." So Parizat and I, we went to one cashier, we went to other cashier. Then I went to my room. Then I went to my room and I said, "Let me lie down for half an hour at least, 45 minutes, 1 hour." Then I don't know what struck me. I said, let me look at the watch. And it was 3:30 or 3:45. I said, "My God, bloody hell, it's already time to get up." And I'm trying to sleep. So whatever it is, but I lie down for maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And then I went for tea. Yeah. I was talking about the volunteers. Sam has been helping me. Cassie Mystery has been helping me. Now Bombay's grandson is helping. And Godrej is a big help to me. Now, if I'm North Pole, Godrej is South Pole. I'm very lenient, very lenient, very lenient. Chalo, 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 basma beso, chalo, chalo. Now, Godrej, I'm not a shouter. I've never been a shouter in my life. So I would keep say, chalo nahi. But Godrej is South Pole. समझ के नहीं बेटा हमें चाहिए. He's a big man, and naturally South is bigger than him, and everyone would run and get into the bus. And so there's that. Courage has been a great help to me. So there have been volunteers who have helped me. Now we come to the next chapter of my life. I've retired from the center's trusteeship, and if I retire from center's trusteeship, it is common sense that I retire and divest my portfolio of in charge of pilgrimage. Okay, thanks. So now I'm no more in charge, and please do not ring me up. Please do not send me messages. Now Sam Patel and Bomi Babanji are given charge of pilgrimage. So please, whatever you need to ask and talk to them, sorry, and they will guide you, whatever it is. I've been receiving messages, I've been receiving phone calls. Jimmy Uncle Kareli Jao, Jimmy Uncle Kareli Jao. When is the next trip? Please talk to Sam and he will organize. Yeah, last but not the least, most important, the plays. Initially, we were doing skits and small aspects of Baba's life, but then Menos and the writer of the plays, Nalini Mathur. Nalini would write the plays and Menos would direct and act as Baba, etc. And this went on, and then they, instead of doing, rather than doing small kind of Baba's aspects of Baba's life, they embarked on Baba's life, serial, serial on Baba's life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I got scared. And one day I told Menos, you're doing this fine. It's going very well. House full. A Teshpal or Patkar would go full. Teshpal would go full. I said, Menos, what if you emigrate from Mumbai, go somewhere else? What if the players who are the cast, what if they disperse? Then what will happen to to this, uh, to the serials that you have embarked on? Jim Uncle said, why are you taking tension, Jim Uncle? Why are you worried? What will happen? What will happen? Whatever happens, happens. Don't worry, leave it to Baba. And mercifully, Baba's life was completed. We went for a couple of more episodes. We did life stories of the monthly and so on. So that was another phase of Baba's life and Bombay Center's life. Bombay Center is doing good work, wonderful work. I can only wish the trustees and the Bombay Center good luck in the years to come. I've given my bit to the center, and let's hope. What I want from the center is what I want from the center is, and I'm sorry, but I can't hold back. The old order has to go. Pardon me. I'm being rude. I'm being crude. The old order has to go. The youngsters have to take over. If not now, when? If not now, when? The reins of power at the center has to pass on to the youngsters. The average of you all five trustees have resigned, including me. Still, the average is very high. Um,
After you finish, I need to sit.
it's not charging.
I need to sit afterwards.
Yeah, one second. This is it's not working. Yeah.
What's not working?
All okay.
Sorry. Okay, I'll wind up with this prayer that we do have three young girls who have taken on, and my congratulations to them. Janice, Farah, Zinnia. They are a great find for the center. God bless them. They are giving the best of their time and energy to the center. I repeat, Janice, Farah, and Zinnia. Please, we want more of you to come forward and take over the reins of the Bombay Center. It is not for me to say this, but before I go, I would like to see that. Jai Mer Baba, and thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jimmy uncle, for this talk today, and especially with your ill health. We pray to Baba that you get well soon and that you are fit and fine once again. But thank you to Baba also for this lovely evening. And as we come to the closure of the program, let us thank Baba that through this journey of the center that you narrated so discreetly from the past 1 hour, it is very heartening and very what can we say? We can say that we really got to know a lot who was there, what contributions they have done, and what each person here who sits in Baba's fold, what all we have to take it, because ultimate goal is to remember Baba, to work for Baba, and we are very confident that he will do it through all his own mediums. But thank you once again. Yes, we have a hand raised by Meher. So, yes, Auntie, you may go ahead.
Jimmy uncle, you did so much for this and you really have done so much for the center. I really pray that please come anytime to the center and give us good talks what you give. Please. And all the best and stay well always with Baba.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Jai Baba.
Okay, I will butt in also. Parent Jai Mer Baba. Jimmy, you have been superb through the years. I'm sure many of us have taken a lot of advantage of many, many activities you have done for us. One of the main things I have loved over the years are the buses. You have brought us from every corner of the world. And really, really, thank you. Wish you good health, happiness with your darling family. But keep coming. Keep coming. We like to see you. Don't sit at home. Come and visit us. Jai Bhai
Parent,
Baba. Thank
Parent,
you.
today I would have spoken from the center. I would have liked to speak from the center, but I have one more Zoom coming in another 5 minutes.
Oh, Baba. Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
So
Well,
I had
you be well, please. You be
thank you,
well. Take some
thank you,
rest.
thank
And
you,
we thank you and we love you. Avatar Mer Baba ki jai. Jai
thank
Baba. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Are you
Thank you
going out?
very much. We will now, looking at your health and your priorities, Jimmy Uncle, we will now go in for prayers, then Aarti. We will keep a minute's silence to connect back to Baba, pray to him, and with that, we shall end our today's Thursday meeting. One.
That's right.
Sir Meher Baba ki jai.
Very much. EGW said CCD meeting.
you. 7:30 as well. There's some time.
Oh, 7:30. Pandemic. હું કેટલામાં કઈ alteration કરી દો.
જરા પ્રિય થવાને હા પછી આવો
તો એક ચોરસ જ થઈ જશે.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। हे परवरदिगार, सबके राखनहार और सबकी रक्षा करने वाले, तुम्हारा कोई आदि नहीं है और न तुम्हारा कोई अंत है। तुम अद्वैत हो, तुम तुलना से परे हो और तुम्हारा पार कोई नहीं पा सकता है। तुम्हारा कोई रंग और कोई रूप नहीं है। तुम आविर्भाव से रहित हो और तुम गुणातीत हो। तुम अपार हो और अगाध हो, कल्पना और धारणा से परे हो, शाश्वत और अनश्वर हो। तुम अखंडनीय हो और दिव्य नेत्रों के सिवाय और किसी भी प्रकार से तुम्हें कोई नहीं देख सकता है। तुम्हारा अस्तित्व सदैव था, तुम सदैव रहते हो और तुम सदैव रहोगे। तुम सर्वत्र हो, तुम हर वस्तु में हो और तुम हर जगह से परे तथा हर वस्तु से परे भी हो। तुम आकाश में हो और पाताल में हो, तुम व्यक्त हो और अव्यक्त हो। तुम सब लोकों पर हो और समस्त लोकों से परे हो। तुम तीनों भुवनों में हो और तीनों भुवनों से परे भी हो। तुम अगोचर हो और स्वतंत्र हो। तुम सृष्टि के रचने वाले हो, स्वामियों के स्वामी हो, समस्त मनों और हृदयों के ज्ञाता हो। तुम सर्व शक्तिमान हो और सर्वव्यापी हो। तुम अनंत ज्ञान हो, अनंत शक्ति हो और अनंत आनंद हो। तुम ज्ञान के महासागर हो, सर्वज्ञ हो, अनंत ज्ञान रखने वाले हो। तुम भूत, वर्तमान और भविष्य के ज्ञाता हो और तुम स्वयं ज्ञान हो। तुम पूर्ण दयामय हो और सदैव हितकारी हो। तुम आत्माओं की आत्मा हो और अनंत गुणों से संपन्न एक परमात्मा हो। तुम सत्य, ज्ञान और परमानंद की त्रिमूर्ति हो। तुम सत्य के मूल हो, प्रेम के महासागर हो। तुम सनातन सत्ता हो, ऊंचों में सबसे ऊंचे हो। तुम प्रभु और परमेश्वर हो। तुम परब्रह्म हो और परात्पर परब्रह्म भी हो। तुम परब्रह्म परमात्मा हो, अल्लाह हो, इलाही हो, यजदान हो और अजमद हो और प्रियतम ईश्वर हो। तुम्हारा नाम इज्जत अर्थात एकमात्र पूज्य है। हे असीम दया के निधि प्रभुराज, हम अपने सब पापों के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं। हर एक विचार के लिए जो असत्य, अनुचित या गंदा था, हर एक बोले हुए शब्द के लिए जिसे बोलना हमें उचित न था, और हर एक कर्म के लिए जिसे करना हमें उचित न था। स्वार्थ से प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द तथा विचार के लिए तथा द्वेष प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए हम पश्चाताप करते हैं। विशेषकर हर एक कामुक विचार तथा क्रिया के लिए, ऐसे हर एक वचन के लिए जिसको हमने पूरा नहीं किया, सब असत्य वचनों के लिए और सभी निंदा, पाखंड, दम या लोगों के पीछे उनके दोष बताने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। और खासकर दूसरों का नाश करने वाले हर एक कर्म के लिए, दूसरों को दुख देने वाले हर एक शब्द तथा कर्म के लिए तथा दूसरों पर दुख गिरने की इच्छा करने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। हे प्रभुराज, आप हम पर असीम दया करके हमारे किए हुए पापों को क्षमा कीजिए और वैसे ही आपकी मर्जी के अनुसार विचार करने में, बोलने में तथा कार्य करने में जो हमारी असमर्थता सदा रहती आई है, उसको भी क्षमा कीजिए। यही हमारी आपसे प्रार्थना है। प्रियतम परमात्मा, हमारी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम तुझसे अधिकाधिक प्रेम करें, और अधिक और अधिक और फिर भी उससे भी अधिक प्रेम करें, जब तक कि हम तुझ में मिलकर एक हो जाने के पात्र बन जाए। और तू हम सबकी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम अंत अंत तक प्रियतम बाबा का दामन दृढ़ता से पकड़े रहे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
भुजावे नार जहलतनी कर खुद रथ ने फरमातु छलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातु आया मुर्शद मेहर बाबा चरण पर तुझ न धरिए सर खुदा ना जात थी वाकिफ थई बै तो मेहर बातू तू छे मालिक हकीकत नो तू आशिक बीने आरे पी तुझे दरी याए वहदत मारिफत नो हो ही तूफातू हमोर है रब ने साले बखशते ज्ञान ईजदनु के तू पर महात्मा ज्ञानी छने मोग तारेर फातू खुदाना प्रेम नो प्यालो पिरावी मस्त हमने कर छ तुझ पर जान सद के साखिया पीते पैमातू हमारी नाव भर दरिए तरावे तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदा मेहर बाबा छनिगे बातू हमारा ना खुदा मेहर बाबा छनिगे बातू भुजावे नार जहलत नी कर खुद रात ने फरमातू छलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातू अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
O glorious eternal ancient one, the faces of light transcendental sun, lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart may here I give to you to keep. Creator yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar, who through compassion the three worlds maintains. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of prayer of the world's wheel that bears me on to death. Unless you who are infinitely kind break the wheels of which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. You are myself, I sing to you in praise and beg your love to bear me through the days till you, the ever living perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun. तार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. Beloved Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Today we celebrate Asha Parekh auntie's birthday at the center. So she is there on the screen as well. So let us all sing for her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday, dear
Asha.
Asha.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you, Baba. Thank you.
Thank you.